Welcome back to the Tracy Take. Today, Ryan and I will be breaking down the thrilling game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. But before we do that, Ryan and I, we have a goal of getting to 300 subscribers by the end of the year. And so if you have not already, please subscribe to this channel, hit this like button, comment on the video, and share this video with your friends. And Ryan, let's get into it. What an amazing game. Huge victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Personally, I think if they lost this game, I think their playoffs were done. But this keeps them alive, keeps them not only in the playoff hunt, but also in the division hunt. We have a lot to talk about on both sides of the ball. A lot of coaching decisions. Actually, not really a lot of coaching decisions. Just one coaching decision that we have to talk about. But we were talking before a lot about this, especially about Lamar Jackson. Where do you think Lamar Jackson is kind of just how the game ended and how the game folded out? How much blame do you give Lamar Jackson in this, or do you think this was a poor coaching decision and it shouldn't have even been up to a 2-point conversion?
Well, the thing was the play was there. Lamar Jackson just kind of overthrew Mark Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have to give him some of the blame. But I actually kind of like the coaching decision because they had given up 17 fourth quarter
Yeah.
points. They really had no answer on defense. And I was highly critical of Lamar Jackson in this game. I thought his performance was below average. One of the biggest things too, and like it kind of shows you just like how games unfold, how important every single play is from the first whistle to the last. If Lamar Jackson throws that interception pass in the first quarter just into the third row, just out the back of the end zone,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's 20-16 instead of
Mm-hmm.
23. They go down, they score the touchdown at the end of the game, whatever. Like, it is incredible to me, like how close a lot of these games in the NFL have been this year. And right now, I mean, the Ravens seem to be struggling a little bit. Just talent wise, they've been decimated with injuries, and I mean, I think tonight it showed. I think
Yeah.
they just didn't quite have enough talent on defense. Again, like I touched on, 17 fourth quarter points. And offensively, I think that they've really started to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar Jackson has put the team on his back a ton this season, but I think tonight his performance was below average and it cost him.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the biggest takeaway for me is really just kind of the offensive struggles. They came out so hot early on. I think a lot of it was probably just unexpected because of all the injuries that they had in the offseason to Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. But they were still able to find a way. They always seemed like they were able to find a way to win the game. But yeah, over their past 4 games, they're averaging only 15 points per game offensively. And over Lamar Jackson's last 5 games, he has 9 interceptions. So it definitely
And then
seems like there's
4 of them came against the Browns last week.
yeah,
So
yes, but I'm just saying that's 9 interceptions. That's averaging just shy of 2 a game. Not being able to take care of the ball, not being able to put themselves in a position to kind of just successfully just get a drive going, or if not pin the opposing team back. Because then on the flip side, you look at the Steelers. The Steelers had no turnovers today. Let me actually just double check that. But yeah, they did not have any turnovers today. It took care of the ball. And yes, the Ravens had an opportunity to win the game, but props to Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've always seemed like they've just been able to put themselves in a position to compete at the end of the games, and I think that comes out from their head coaching and on downward. That was a great fourth quarter comeback. That's another fourth quarter comeback that we've seen the Steelers do. They almost had to win against the Chargers a couple weeks before, but they ended up blowing that game. Or I guess not. I guess it's weird to say blowing that game, but for me, I agree with you. I think the decision to go for it in the fourth quarter for the 2-point conversion by John Harbaugh was the right decision. I think Mike Tomlin did an amazing job putting his team in position to get into the lead, go up a touchdown with just 90 seconds left. It was a typical AFC North divisional game, in my opinion. So very hard nosed, like just grinded out football, just smash mouth. And
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers ended up on top and kept their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah. Another big thing too for me that is going to go understated in this game was Pittsburgh offensive line play.
Mm-hmm.
They, for the most part, kept Ben Roethlisberger upright against what has been a good defensive front for Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and they did that with, in my opinion, an already weak offensive line, and then lost their left tackle. So they then
Yeah,
took their right tackle, put him at left tackle, and then put in a backup at right tackle.
yeah. And
So
then on the flip side, they got 7 sacks against Lamar Jackson. Like they
yeah,
dominated the trenches today,
Mhm.
which was the key to victory. And they only held Baltimore just 107 rushing yards, and Lamar Jackson only had 55 rushing yards. So
yeah.
I agree. It was a dominant trench game today by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, yeah. And so I think the Steelers kept their playoff hopes alive. Mathematically, I think they have to get to 10 wins. I think they have to go 4-1 over the next 5 games to have a shot. I think that draw game kind of puts
Mm-hmm.
them in a really weird spot because they can go uh, 9-7-1
Yeah,
and just not get to 10 wins. And I think they have to get to 10 wins.
yeah,
So it's an interesting road for the Steelers, but I think it's an even more interesting road for the Ravens because the Ravens have a really, really tough schedule coming up as they have to play the Browns, Packers, Bengals, Rams, and then again against the Steelers in the next 5 weeks. That's a lot of tough games for, in my opinion, a team that is really struggling.
yeah. Mm-hmm. They are struggling offensively, and if you look, they might get away with it against the Browns. But if you look at the other 4 teams, or I guess the other 3 teams until they play the Steelers again, they're going to have to be able to put up some points because that
Mhm.
Packers defense is no joke. The Rams defense is solid, and the Bengals defense, they've obviously played against and shut them out in Baltimore.
Mhm.
So this is a very interesting road. Just another kind of, I would say, shocking little twist as we head towards the playoffs on just really who is going to make the AFC playoffs. The only team really like I'm confident in that is going to make the playoffs is the Patriots and the Bills. I just feel like the games that they have
Yeah.
remaining, I feel like that they're going to find a way to win. And obviously, I think they're 2 of the better teams. But even now, I mean, like the Ravens are still leading the AFC North, and I could see them still not making the playoffs just with the way they've been playing and who they have to play left. But then I could see the team like the Browns, who have been struggling, and with the opportunities that they have left, to potentially sneak their way into the playoffs. And same thing with the
Yeah.
Steelers as well. So
This this division is still wide open.
yes, yeah, and same with the AFC West as well, who we're going to be talking about here shortly.
Yeah. No, I really think that the Ravens could be in trouble. Mathematically, I think they probably have the best shot at the playoffs
Mm-hmm.
in a wild card because they have wins over the Chiefs. Um, let's see, Chiefs, Chargers, and
Colts,
Colts.
yeah,
Uh, so that to me, those are 3 teams that could be reeling for a playoff spot. They will get lucky in the fact that probably the Chargers or the Chiefs will win that division. So that kind of
mm-hmm.
takes one of those teams out of the wild card hunt. Uh, but with a really tough schedule coming up again, I think they could be in some serious trouble. Uh, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how the season plays out. The AFC is just a total crapshoot on who's going to make the playoffs right now. Even right now, the 1 seed, who is New England, because we're recording this on Sunday night, uh, could mathematically not make the playoffs. So
Yeah,
that's how
mm-hmm.
crazy it is right now. So other than that, I don't really have too much else to add. So I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Tracy Take. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that bell notification. Let us know in the comments on what you think is going to happen with the Baltimore Ravens. Do you think they'll have a bounce back game next week against the Cleveland Browns, or do you think their offensive struggles will continue? And we will make sure to respond to you guys. And thank you for making it this far. We'll see you next time.